These words are Adam's. He said them on the stream yesterday. I can't believe he did it. Can you?
I thought he was going to tap out.
I cannot believe he did it. All the power in the world out of Pacini. Yeah. He's an absolute lunatic and a far better man with bigger bollocks than any of us.
Where's the wedding ring?
It's off. I'm not married to you in my head anymore, Sam. We got divorced a long time ago. I just wish that was a reality. Here are the headlines for some weekend news. Have WWE potentially teased a dream match? We have Vince McMahon's reaction to this week's Raw, the first of the Paul Heyman era, and we have Roman Reigns commenting on AEW. So we kick things off with a bit of a saucy bit of a ball tickler on WWE's official Instagram account. Yesterday, they posted a picture of 97/98 Undertaker on his knees doing the old pose, but who's in the ring opposite him? It's only bloody Sting. 99/2000 Sting, to be precise, with little cute Bob.
The little cute Bob, yeah.
And
they were in a Nitro ring, so I take this to mean they're going to bring back WCW Nitro. Like, they're just disregarding those two. That's just to distract you. They're going to bring back Nitro.
I've got an even better one for you, Sam. I reckon we're going to see Sting versus The Undertaker on Wednesday Night Dynamite. AEW, that's what we're going to see. I personally believe we're reading too much into this, but are WWE teasing a potential meeting, finally, between The Undertaker and Sting in 2019, potentially in November at Saudi Arabia?
I think so. I don't think we're reading too much into it at all. They literally posted a picture of peak era Sting versus peak era Taker and went, imagine. It's going to happen.
I don't want it to happen.
Give them the time up to there to just sort out a match and practice it every week.
It's not enough time. They need a time machine to go back at least 5 years. You know, WrestleMania 31 times, something like that. WWE, that would have been good, wouldn't it? But no, after Undertaker versus Goldberg, I never want to see two 50-year-old plus men wrestling in a WWE ring because it's a recipe for disaster. Fair enough, now that Taker's come back, he's picked himself the best opponent in the world, Shane McMahon, who will carry him to a 5-star classic because Shane can just run rings around him. Forget about Drew McIntyre, he's not very good. It's all about Shane. Obviously, Shane can carry Taker to a good match, but now, with Sting not having wrestled since 2015 when Seth Rollins did the old buckle bomb in the corner.
In the nicest way possible, Sting hardly had an excessively athletic moveset way back in the day.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
He works a very old school style.
What power moves does Sting do?
And probably a running power slam or something. That's probably the most ridiculous strength-based stuff he would do.
Scorpion death drop, don't need to pick him up. Stinger splash, don't need to pick him up. I'm sure he did a scoop slam or two back in the day. But it was all kicks and punches, wasn't it? Kicking a punch.
So I think Sting might be alright. It's just Taker needs to get himself back on track for it. And the match isn't going to be great by any means. And it's going to be nowhere near as big as we've built it up in our heads if it does happen. But I think it's going to be a lot better than people might think going into it if it does happen.
I guess, if they stick away from the power moves where one man needs to lift another man, or a man needs to work with the other man in midair.
If Sting just evades Taker's offense for the entire thing, as much as he can.
Runs away.
Just sort of gets himself out of tombstone predicaments and makes it all about when's he going to finally hit it? Because he will win because, Vince beat WCW. But, yeah.
You might have just taught me round there, Sam. I was deadly against the idea when I first saw that picture just because of what we saw. Obviously, it's Super Showdown. Never do I want to see two old men do it again. But if they work it right, God, and if Sting doesn't headbutt the door before he comes out for his entrance as well.
Sting is famous for headbutting the back in the day, he wasn't actually part of NWO Red. That was just blood.
Was it actually?
He was just nutting stuff.
Him and Bill backstage just nutting each other. Right then, so will that happen? Who knows? It might do, but why would they post it? I was just having a look at their Instagram account to see if they do this regularly, but they don't. That is just out of the blue.
The only other thing I think it could be is that sometimes they do those really out there galleries on the website. Where it's wrestlers wrestling dinosaurs around the time of a Jurassic Park film, wrestlers as pirates. And I think this could be a dream matches that we'll never ever see type gallery. But at the same time, I think for them to tweet that out, there's a bit of deeper meaning there.
And next up we have Vince McMahon's reported reaction to this week's WWE Raw, which of course was the first of the Paul Heyman era. I thought it was a bloody good step in the right direction. I love the way things threaded through the show and linked together, all the superstars wishing Braun and Bobby very well. I like the fact they did an explosive start. I like Corey Graves' swearing, uncensored. I liked kind of. The bat-bollock crazy 90s storyline with Maria and her pregnancy. It was refreshing to see after so long of monotonous nothingness.
Yeah.
It was a palate cleanser.
It was like, palate cleanser, wasn't it?
But Sports Illustrated have claimed WWE executives, most notably CEO Vince McMahon, were immensely pleased with the pacing, tone and essence. Whatever that means.
Essence can be used to describe like sperm.
I just think of herbal essences. Herbal essences. Just Vince McMahon washing his hair.
I forgot about that.
Oh, I love it. But yeah, it got every right to be, because as we've just reeled off there, there was a lot of good things.
And it was a break in style, like a massive break in style.
Again, they're persisting with the 2 out of 3 falls matches and no wrestling during commercial breaks, which is a big problem.
Well, hopefully it'll change.
They've proved as well. I guess it worked with AJ Styles and Ricochet with them restarting the match. That was good, but how many times are you going to do that? Because so far, the only remedy to this rule has been 2 out of 3 falls matches. And that's just not going to be sustainable.
Yeah.
So if they get rid of that, and obviously the wildcard rule is still there, that's another drawback for me. I'm not a fan of the wildcard rule at all. It is too hard to follow, Sam.
It needs to go. There needs to be definite brand separation. Give it 2 nights a year, maybe 3 nights. Well, just maybe a little big 4. Well, now a big 5.
How about Survivor Series, when it's the only time of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live superstars go head to head?
Like, I just think, give them the big shows where they can, cross-brand match, but like not every month, and not the wildcard rule. It's doing my head in.
Finally, Roman Reigns, the face of WWE, has been speaking about AEW.
Do it properly. Roman Reigns, the what? He's the face of WWE, but what else is he, Ross?
He's the conscience of WWE.
What else is he, though?
He's the best pure striker in the history of WWE.
He's a large something.
He's a large match Jonathan. No, he's the big dog, Roman Reigns. I can't do it in this chair because it's very squeaky. It's got like a little... I break the chair, I'm a heavy man.
You'll just knock yourself out against the green screen.
But Roman's been speaking with the Sportster about AEW, where he has been saying, competition, there's I can't even read, I'm just so excited I can't read. No, there's no competition. Ooh. WWE, we know exactly what we're doing. We have the best talent in the world. Very Seth Rollins of you there, Roman. There's no comparing. I say that with firm confidence. All the way from the top to the very bottom, we are world class all the way through. That's debatable.
I like that he had to say very bottom, so that it's like, there's some people here that are crap.
Even Connor from the Ascension is world class. Sorry, Connor. I just think he's the worst wrestler on the roster.
I just think we need to get rid of the Ascension gimmick. Just give him something fresh.
I hope they're all right, though. I haven't seen them for a while.
I know.
He continues. He then goes to say, in all fairness, AEW does have its positives. Is there another option? Sure. For wrestlers around the world and in the locker room, even WWE's, AEW is another option and another place to get a check. I'm never against optimism, but I think you have foolish thoughts if you really think there's a competition or actual competition, just an option, which isn't a bad thing.
That's fine, but why are you running Evolve's anniversary show the same night as Fight for the Fallen?
Was that the same night as a charitable thing?
Yes.
All the proceeds are going to charity, so WWE undermining a charity event.
That's ridiculous.
That's not fair, because I think I read somewhere that the Evolve thing has been arranged for a long time, but it's weird that they were announced it when they did.
Well,
not
apparently
a very good PR
they just happened to be in Philly at the same time, and it's like a test in the waters thing, but it's a bad PR move.
I mean, we've said this I've said it a million times on these news videos. In the grand scheme of things, AEW is not competition for WWE. WWE's not going to go anywhere. Yes, it might make a dent.
It's McDonald's, it's the McDonald's of the wrestling industry.
What does that make AEW? Burger King?
I guess it's like the up and coming. It's Whataburger, not Whataburger. In-N-Out. It's the cool one everybody loves.
Ooh.
It's In-N-Out Burger. Everybody loves it. Even Okada loves In-N-Out Burger.
I know, but just WWE have had the monopoly on wrestling for so long. They've digged their claws in that deep that nothing's going to seriously hamper them. Yes, a rating or two might go down. Yes, maybe if AEW ran a show before WWE one, a house would come down, if that's even possible these days.
Yeah.
That's not fair, because Raw was full this week, as we saw. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, AEW's not competition. But that's not, from a fan's perspective, yes, they are. And there's going to be a massive war, there's going to be blood and shrapnel and all sorts.
We're at a phase now where wrestling fans just seem to very much hate being wrestling fans and each other and wrestling, and it's like, well, I hope WWE goes out of business. It's like, why would you do that? It's somewhere for everybody to work. And if WWE's strong and AEW's strong, maybe a third company can come in and be equally as strong. And it makes the marketplace so much bigger. It makes wrestling huge. It makes it more popular again.
I'm going to sit here right now and say I'm a fan of WWE. I'll support WWE. I'm a fan of AEW. I'll support AEW. I hope they both do bloody well for each other and themselves. Yes. And finally, we have Batista once again saying, give me what I want. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. But Vince McMahon did not give him what he wanted because originally he's revealed on Talk Is Jericho this week that he and Triple H wanted to have a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 35, but Vince McMahon said, nah, no.
You can see in their match, and the way that match played out, it would have worked well in a cell.
Yeah.
Well in a cell.
Hey. Imagine that. You win by dumping your opponent into a well. In a cell.
It's in a mini cage on the outside. They dig this massive hole.
We'll reach a charity single. We're sending our love down the well. We all make money. Anyway, Triple H and Batista wanted Hell in a Cell matches because, and I quote, they are just great matches. They are violent. We needed bells and whistles. And nose rings and pliers.
Yeah, oh, the pliers and the nose ring.
What an amazing moment Beautiful. That was. He continued, we're two older guys, we hadn't wrestled in a long time, and we needed the drama. We already have the history, so we just needed the violence. And they had the violence anyway, so I don't think the Hell in a Cell match not being there detracted from what we saw. I thought it was a very fun match.
It was a very good match. I think the Cell would have added a little bit of drama to it. It would have probably added a lot more cheese gratery spots, maybe a little bit of accidental blood, and hopefully what could have happened would have been that Batista got airlifted in his Humvee and just got plopped right on top of the Cell. And it's just a Humvee on top of the Cell the entire time.
Airlifted in his Humvee?
Yeah, so like a helicopter, like military style, brings it in and just like plops it down.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then like he has to climb down the ring, and then at some point during the match, like they're going to be up on top, and the Humvee and like Triple H are going to like suplex each other through the ceiling and down.
And then Michael Cole would scream while spunking everywhere. Isn't that so cool, guys? But again, it's just a shame that in WWE today, we need to wait until October to have a Hell in a Cell match, or is it September? We need to wait until the autumn.
They need to get rid of the stipulation pay-per-views.
Yes,
every single one but Money in the Bank. Every single one but Money in the Bank.
That's the only one
that
that works, I agree. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. And if you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can play us to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe and join us.